Hey, Ryan Michael Galloway here for We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com. I'm between sets on my house gig that I do occasionally here at a hotel gig. And we've been talking about venues, and as I did that series, I had some thoughts, some things I did want to share to kind of wrap up the thought processes. We take a huge amount of risk to put on these big shows, and I've done it and I've lost my tail before. Doing it when the band I had didn't quite have enough following, or when we did a big gig and it got usurped by, I don't know, Jimmy Buffett coming to town or something like that, took our audience away, or whatever. So, these smaller gigs, if you play it right, if you've got everything, firing on all cylinders, if you've got CDs to sell, if you've got a rotating audience, if you can move around in a wide enough geographical area, and it doesn't have to be huge, it has to be over maybe only 100 or 200 square miles. That's not very much. That's the size of a major city, but from one geographical side of the city to another, and keep presenting to a relatively fresh audience, to house concerts and that kind of thing. Basically approach things as what I call artisan musician. The artisan musician is somebody that works a lot like somebody who sculpts. You're touch with people. The fact that you can contact and make contact and maintain contact very intimately with a relatively small group of people, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 as opposed to thousands and thousands, that the chances of making very, very good money without taking a whole lot of risk, selling everything from t-shirts, shirts and merch to CDs to whatever, to these smaller groups, and do it in smaller incremental shows, and not making the investment in a big concert, will over time possibly make you very good money. Now, I got an example. It was Bob Baker a couple weeks ago had this fantastic post of a guy who's a busker. That's somebody who's basically a street musician. He was on the Santa Monica Pier, if I remember right. And with a little luck, I'll get to talk to him one of these days too, because I think he's really got something going. He sold 15,000 CDs in 18 months. 15,000 CDs. Well, the profit on that, if you calculate it out, is probably right around $90,000. That's really good money for somebody who's just playing 4 or 5 nights, a couple hours a night on the street. Is there a little more to that story? Probably. He's probably very good at hooking people in and talking to them. But my point is, this is somebody who's taking very little risk, is not even going to the trouble of getting themselves booked. They're just very steady and they found a place to find an audience that refreshes all the time, and so they have an opportunity to sell more product. And I think it's brilliant. And like I said, one of the days maybe I get a chance to talk to him. So anyway, that's my wrap up and my thought about larger venues, and that is, don't do them unless you're really, really ready. And I would hope you'd have a following in an area of maybe 10,000 before you try to attempt a bigger show. Even a 300 seat theater is difficult sometimes if you, the band, are the only draw, or you, the musician, are the only draw. I'm Ryan Michael Galloway, and We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com.